Good morning everyone. We have plants, trees, birds, insects and animals in our nature. They are also the inheritors of this earth, right? If you come across a snake on the way, what will you do? Let's watch the video.
Hello, is there anybody inside? Hello.
Hey, what is it? Why are you shouting like that?
Sir, I am going home from Bazaar. I have seen a big cobra entering your compound.
What? Cobra?
Yes, sir. It's very big. So
Oh my God.
it came this way. So be careful. It might be dangerous.
Okay, I will take care of it.
What's the matter?
The snake entered our compound.
A snake? Have you seen it?
No, mom, but the passerby told me.
A snake? Really?
Yes, snake. Where is it? In our compound.
Mom, I want sheep, Mom. I want sheep, Mom.
Is it demanding to see a snake? Where is the Dasa? Where is he?
Dasa?
Dasa?
Dasa? Mom, there he is.
Mom, he's taking nap, Mom. Well, you are in big trouble.
Ha, what a lazy fellow he is. He's taking a nap there.
Yes, you're right. Instead of searching for the snake, he's taking nap there. Wake him up.
Dasa? Dasa, get up, Dasa.
Hey, don't disturb me. Can't you see I'm sleeping?
Dasa, Dasa entered the compound, Dasa.
What? A snake? How can a snake enter when I am here? No, go. Let me sleep.
Dasa, get up.
Mom, he's not waking up.
Dasa? Dasa, get up. Get up now and search for the snake. If he is not found by the evening, that's it. You're off of the job.
Okay. I'll search for it. No.
Madhu? Is it true what I heard? What have you heard? Madhu, I heard that a cobra entered your home. Yes, it is. It is somewhere here. We are searching for that.
Look at all the grass. It's a big mess.
Yeah, you are correct. It's all a mess. Anyway, Madhu, you are the first servant. Yes, Madhu, you have a lazy servant defect. If I have such a servant,
Hey, who asked you all to go? Can't you see? You're searching for the snake. You're
Ah.
not us.
Look at the way. He talks. He's not only but also rude. Does not know how to behave.
What have I done? I was just saying I'm helpless.
helpless? What do you mean?
The grass grows. How can I help it?
Don't you know? To keep the surroundings tidy?
I have been asking for the grass cutter for last 2 months. No one is providing it. How can I cut the grass? How can I keep it clean? What? The grass cutter? That too in these days.
Dasa, learn not to make demands. You have to manage with available things only.
Mom, I told you already. A lawnmower is better than.
It's impossible to buy a grass cutter in this water.
Yeah, you're right. The war has hiked up all the iron prices. We can't even think of buying a grass cutter now.
Yes, I bet you are true. The war is really devastating.
What am I to do with that? I just need a grass cutter.
Dasa, shut up now. We're trying to talk here something, just don't butt in.
But madam,
That's it, don't utter a word.
Madhu madam, your family have a great servant. He never works, but he talk a lot.
Anyway, where were we? The wartime prices. You say anything, but it is impossible to get anything in a reasonable price.
is that so? I can get anything at cheaper price.
Cheaper price? From the black market or what? I can't really understand. Going to addicted to the black market? As young people, don't you know this is going to affect our country? Don't you know? You are responsible for everything you do.
Mummy! See this newspaper. It means 30,000 people die of snake bite every year.
What? 30,000 people?
Yeah, it means 83 people every day.
My God. Dasa, have you heard this?
Hey.
How many members of this money do you expect?
What am I to do with that?
Oh, you lazy fellow. You're the reason. You haven't cut the grass and the snake is hiding there. Oh, Madhu, I forgot. I had a milk boiling. I must go, Madhu. Take care of it. Take care. Bye. Bye, Madhu. Bye. Take care.
Good riddance.
How was the video? Did you understand the story? This is the visualization. This video is a visualization of a story written by famous Indian English writer R.K. Narayan. And the name of the story is A Snake in the Grass. Now let's go to the story in detail. It was a sunny afternoon. The inmates of the bungalow were at their siesta. A cyclist rang his bell at the gate frantically and shouted, "A big cobra has got into your compound." It crossed my wheel. He pointed to its track under the grate and resumed his journey. What is the time mentioned here? It was a sunny afternoon. It was afternoon, and the inmates of the bungalow, inmates means the people living there, Andevasigal, we can say. Inmates of the bungalow were at their siesta. Siesta means a short sleep in the afternoon. They were on a short sleep. And what happened? A cyclist rang his bell at the gate frantically and shouted. Frantically means fearfully. A cyclist, a man who was riding cycle, shouted loudly, "A big cobra has got into your compound." What entered your compound? A big cobra, a big snake. Cobra means snake. Murkan Pambu. And it crossed my wheel. He pointed to its track under the gate and resumed his journey. And the cyclist informed the people living in the bungalow that there is a cobra in the compound. And he resumed his journey. He continued his journey. The family consisted of the mother and her 4 sons. They were greatly agitated to hear the news. Soon they assembled at the gate. Their old servant Dasa was sleeping in the shed. They shook him out of sleep and told him about the arrival of the cobra. And how many people were there in the house? Mother and 4 sons. And they were greatly agitated to hear the news. They were really afraid to hear the news. What was the news? A snake entered their compound. അവരുടെ കോമ്പൗണ്ടിൽ ഒരു പാമ്പ്, മൂർഖൻ പാമ്പ് കയറിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. Soon they assembled at the gate. All of them came near the gate. Their old servant Dasa was sleeping in the shed. Who is Dasa? Dasa is their old servant. Dasa is sleeping in the shed, and they shook him out of his sleep and told him about the arrival of cobra. Arrival means വരവ്. കോബ്രയുടെ വരവിനെ കുറിച്ച് അറിയിച്ചു. Informed Dasa about the snake. "There isn't any cobra here," he replied, and tried to dismiss the matter. They swore at him and wanted him to be serious. "The thing is somewhere here. If it's not found before evening, we will dismiss you. You don't seem to care for the garden." See, there is any cobra here. Our Dasa servant said, he was sleeping, and he said, "There isn't any cobra here, no snake here." And they swore at him. Swear means ഉറപ്പിച്ചു പറയുക. Swore, അവർ ഉറപ്പിച്ചു പറഞ്ഞു. And wanted him to be serious. The thing is somewhere here. And they said to Dasa, "The snake is here somewhere in the garden. If it is not found before evening, we will dismiss you. If you are not able to find the snake, before evening, we will dismiss you. You don't seem to care for the garden." And they said, "We will dismiss you, so go and find out the snake." Some neighbors dropped in. They looked accusingly at Dasa. "You have the laziest servant on earth," they said. "You ought to keep the surroundings tidy. I have been asking for a grass cutter for months," Dasa said. In one voice, they ordered him to manage with available things and learn not to make demands. Meanwhile, more neighbors assembled. See here, some neighbors dropped in, and the news spread everywhere. What was the news? A snake entered their compound, and some neighbors dropped in. Dropped in means came. Neighbors came, and they looked accusingly at Dasa. Accusingly. Because Dasa was not serious. Dasa said there is no snake. And they, the neighbors, looked accusingly at Dasa. And he said, accusingly. What is accusingly? അദ്ദേഹത്തെ കുറ്റപ്പെടുത്തുന്നത് പോലെ. And you have the laziest servant on earth, they said. What is lazy? Muddy. Laziest servant on earth, they said, Dasa is very lazy. You ought to keep the surroundings tidy. Surroundings tidy. Tidy means clean. You are supposed to clean the surroundings of house very tidy. Clean. Otherwise, what will happen? Snakes would come. And Dasa said, I have been asking for a grass cutter for months. For many months, I have been asking for a grass cutter, but nobody came to cut the grass. Dasa said. In one voice, they ordered him to manage with available things and learn not to make demands. And they said to take all the sticks, knife or everything and to look for the snake. Meanwhile, more neighbors assembled. They began discussing snake menace and the dangers of snake bite. They began helping the neighbor in every possible way. They tucked up their dhotis, seized every available knife and crowder, and began to hack the garden. Creepers, bushes, and lawns were laid low. What could not be trimmed was cut to the root. The inner walls of the house brightened with unobstructed glare streaking in. When there was nothing more to be done, Dasa asked triumphantly, where is the snake? And many neighbors assembled, many neighbors came. They began discussing snake menace. Came and they started discussing how danger is the snake bite and all. They started discussing. Menace means dangerous. They began helping the neighbor in every possible way. And the neighbors came. Ayalkar vannu. And they began to help the neighbor in every possible. They started helping this family. They tucked up their dhotis. They tucked up their dhotis. അവർ മുണ്ട് മടക്കി കുത്തി എന്നാണ് അതിന് പറയുക. They tucked up their dhotis. മുണ്ട് മടക്കി കുത്തി. Seized every available knife and crowbar. What is crowbar? Iron bar. ഇരുമ്പ് വടി. Crowbar and began to hack the garden. Started searching the garden for snake. Creepers, bushes and lawns were laid low. Creepers, വള്ളികൾ. Creepers, bushes and lawns were laid low because they were walking on the grass, and what could not be trimmed was cut to the root. They cut the grass, plants, everything there, and what happened? The inner walls of the house brightened, the unobstructed glare streaking in. Now they cleaned their compound, and what happened? The inner walls of the house brightened. Compound അവർ വൃത്തിയാക്കിയപ്പോൾ what happened? അവരുടെ വീടിനുള്ളിലേക്ക് അൺഒബ്സ്ട്രക്റ്റഡ് ഗ്ലെയർ, തടസ്സമില്ലാത്ത ഗ്ലെയർ, സ്ട്രീക്കിംഗ് ഇൻ, തടസ്സമില്ലാത്ത രീതിയിൽ വെളിച്ചം അവരുടെ റൂമിലേക്ക് വന്നു. When there was nothing more to be done, Dasa asked triumphantly, where is the snake? And they cleaned everything, but they could not find out the snake. But they could not find snake. Jayabhavatil Dasa asked, where is the snake? They could not find the snake. They cleaned the compound and they searched for the snake in the compound, but they could not find it. An old beggar cried for alms at the gate. They told her that they were busy with a snake hunt. On hearing it, the old woman became happy. You are fortunate. It's God Himself who has come to visit you. Don't kill the snake. Mother was in hearty agreement. You are right. I forgot all about the promised Abhishekam. This is a reminder. She gave a coin to the beggar who promised to send a snake charmer as she went. See, an old beggar. Beggar means, an old beggar. Beggar, what is the meaning of beggar? Yajakan. An old beggar came to the scene crying for help. And they told her that they were busy with snake hunt. And they said that the people were searching for snake. On hearing it, the old woman became happy. You are fortunate. It is God Himself who has come to visit you. And the beggar said, it is God who came to visit you. It is not simply snake, it is God who came to visit you. Don't kill the snake. Mother was in hearty agreement. Mother also said, don't kill the snake, because they thought that it is God. You are right. I forgot all about the promised Abhishekam. What is Abhishekam? Those who are adoring, those who are considering a snake as God, they do this Abhishekam. പാമ്പിനെ ദൈവമായി ആരാധിക്കുന്നവർ പാമ്പിനെ അഭിഷേകം നടത്താറുണ്ട്. This is a reminder. She gave a coin to the beggar who promised to send a snake charmer as she went. And what happened? The beggar was given a gold coin and the beggar said she would send a snake charmer. And the beggar got a coin and the beggar promised to send a snake charmer as she went. She promised to send a snake charmer. ഒരു പാമ്പ് പിടുത്തക്കാരനെ അയക്കാം എന്ന് ആര് പറഞ്ഞു? beggar. Presently, an old man appeared at the gate and announced himself as the snake charmer. They gathered around him. He spoke to them of his life and activities and his power over snakes. They asked admiringly, "How do you catch them?" Thus, he said, pouncing upon an imaginary snake on the ground. They pointed at the direction in which the cobra had gone and asked him to go ahead. He looked helplessly and said, "If you show me the snake, I'll catch it at once. Otherwise, what can I do? The moment you see it again, send for me. I live nearby." He gave his name and departed. At present, who came? An old man appeared at the gate. An old man came to. At present, who came to the scene? An old man came to the scene. He announced himself as snake charmer. പാമ്പ് പിടിക്കാൻ പോകുന്ന ആൾ എന്ന് സ്വയം അദ്ദേഹം അനൗൺസ് ചെയ്തു. He announced himself as snake charmer. He said, "I am snake charmer." They gathered around him. All the people gathered. കൂടിച്ചേർന്നു. All the people gathered around him and he spoke to them of his life and activities and his power over snakes. And the snake charmer told about his life, about his activities and power over snakes. How they asked admiringly, ബഹുമാനത്തോടെ. They asked admiringly, "How do you catch them?" People asked him, "How do you catch snakes?" Thus he said, pouncing means jumping, pouncing upon an imaginary snake on the ground. He showed how he planned to catch the snake, and he just acted as if there was a snake. He just acted as if there was a snake on the ground. He just jumped on an imaginary snake. അവിടെ ഒരു സ്നേക്ക് ഉണ്ട് എന്ന് വിചാരിച്ച് സങ്കല്പത്തിലുള്ള ഒരു സ്നേക്ക് ഗ്രൗണ്ടിൽ ഉണ്ട് എന്ന് വിചാരിച്ച് അദ്ദേഹം ആക്ട് ചെയ്ത് കാണിച്ചു എങ്ങനെയാണ് സ്നേക്കിനെ പിടിക്കുന്നതെന്ന്. They pointed at the direction in which the cobra had gone and asked him to go ahead. He looked helplessly and said, "If you show me the snake, I will catch it one." And they showed him the direction through this way. The snake passed through this way. And this man said, the snake charmer said, "If you show me the snake, I will catch it once. Otherwise, what can I do? The snake is not here, so how can I catch it? The moment you see it again, send for me. If you see the snake again, call me. I live nearby. I am living near this." And he gave his name and departed. What happened later in the story? We will see it in the next class. You have to write the new words and find meanings from the dictionary and write it in your notebook. And try to read the lesson. That's all for today. Thank you.